Welcome back to the Relaxing Ghost channel here on YouTube. As always, your host with the most, Ghost. And today we have the WWE 2015 DVD collection. These will be the non-pay-per-view DVDs that were released throughout 2015. So we got some pretty good DVDs that were released in this year. Let's start it off with the Best of Raw and SmackDown 2014. So this was the only year that the best pay-per-view matches was a European exclusive or a UK exclusive, whatever. So I don't have that one. So, Best of Raw and SmackDown 2014. Overall, a pretty cool set. You know, the Shield was somewhat strong throughout this year. We had the Wyatt family, Lesnar as champion. Evolution made a brief return. Yeah, this is a really nice set. Yeah, that's how I look after watching Raw every week. Dead inside. Their shows are not good right now. Lesnar was a beast in this year, ending the Undertakers streak, winning the WWE title in dominant fashion. Some cool stuff on there you'd check out. And then we had the Destruction of the Shield DVD. This would be the Shield's first of two DVD sets. And I think this is probably the better of the two, so you definitely want to check these out. Only a 7.5 hour runtime, but it's got a lot of their earlier matches there from their debut at Survivor Series and whatnot. And there's even a mini documentary on here, which is really cool. We got some FCW stuff, which is always cool. In a 15-minute time limit match for the FCW 15 title, Ambrose and Rollins. And then we had the triple threat match, Ambrose, Rollins, and Liaki, who is now Roman Reigns. So yeah, a few NXT matches as well, and then their first pay-per-view appearance at TLC 2012 versus Ryback and Team Hell No. Really cool set to watch. Then we get into the Road is Jericho. So this is where I really started collecting DVDs around this time period. It started with WrestleMania 31. The Road is Jericho is one I passed up on at first, but don't sleep on this DVD. It's actually pretty cool. You know, it's Jericho telling stories, and you know, he's driving around while telling stories. We got Jericho and Shawn Michaels, Jericho and Bray Wyatt in the cage. It seems like the DVDs got shorter around this time period, you know, 7 to 7.5 hours. And we got kind of the evolution of Jericho. But this goes back from even some ECW stuff and WCW. And then we got some Rebellion, Royal Rumble versus The Rock. All the way up until 2014 versus Randy Orton. So it's a decent DVD set. One of my all-time favorites right here, Always Believe, from The Ultimate Warrior. This is a fantastic documentary set. It's definitely one you'll want in your collection. Also on Blu-ray. Yeah, 7 hours. You know, very cool artwork in here. Got the Warriors' final promo on there. On Raw after Hall of Fame. So yeah, this is a tragic story. And luckily enough, they had footage from when he did the Ultimate Collection DVD So they used a lot of that footage and created this documentary with his wife and kids and a few others. Next up here we got the ECW Unreleased Volume 3. These DVD sets are just awesome. Go back and watch. Again, only 7 hours. It's hosted by Styles, Blue Meanie, and Stevie Richards. You know, just some fantastic stuff on here. So this goes from 93 all the way through like 2000, 2001. You know, this might be, you know, one of the last ECW DVDs we get. Then we had It's Good to Be the King, Jerry Lawler's story. Another really good documentary. Seems like we got a lot of good documentaries from this year and the couple years prior to this. But Jerry Lawler's story is pretty cool, going back through like the 70s and 80s with Memphis wrestling. Again, only about 7 hours, but this is one you're going to want for the documentary portion. And, you know, I always liked when they did this on the discs, you know, the kind of evolution of a superstar. Classic Lawler. So yeah, just tons and tons of matches going all the way back until 1981 versus Terry Funk. You got the match with Andy Kaufman, Bill Dundee, Eddie Gilbert, and a huge documentary list. And we got some stuff from him in WWE, his Hall of Fame induction, his match with The Miz. That was a really good set. Daniel Bryan, Just Say Yes, Yes, Yes. This one is also available on Blu-ray. I think almost all of these are on Blu-ray. Maybe wrong. But this one is not the greatest documentary, but it's a very good DVD set. Well put together. You know, again, it's fairly short, about 7 hours, but you know, the culmination of Daniel Bryan winning the World Heavyweight title at WrestleMania is an awesome story. And we got his tryout match on here, matches on Velocity, and then his stuff in NXT with Jericho all the way to WrestleMania 30. That's an epic DVD. Talk about epic DVDs with the Monday Night War Volume 1. Shots Fired. This is one of my all-time favorite DVDs. And yes, it was also available on Blu-ray. So these Blu-rays are extremely hard to come by these days. And very rare to come by. But the 4-disc set is really cool. You know, I always have a blast going back and watching these. Some of my favorite stuff. I was so happy when they started pumping these out. It's really sad we won't get the Ruthless set on DVD. Then we got Clique Rules. Maybe one of the weaker DVDs of this year. This was just kind of a cash grab here. You know, everyone knows the story of the Clique and the Montreal Screwjob. I don't think this DVD was needed because they did a kind of Clique episode with the Monday Night Wars. It's a cool DVD set and whatnot, but I don't think it was needed. And you got a lot of the matches they've had together. Razor Ramon versus The Kid. You got the Outsiders versus Steiners. Nash vs. Hall, Triple H vs. X-Pac, Nash vs. Triple H. We got Shawn Michaels and Diesel versus Razor and The Kid. Cool DVD, but definitely not needed. Another one of my favorites from 2015 was The Very Best of Nitro Volume 3, also on Blu-ray. Again, similar to the Monday Night Wars DVDs, these are so fun to go back and watch. All these great Nitro moments and just classic stuff. And the Blu-ray here. You know, you got Sting and Flair on the disc. You know, with this older footage, I always recommend getting the Blu-rays just for the better, higher quality. And yeah, we got Savage in a pink coat. These were all hosted by DDP. And you got Booker. And you got Brett and Jericho on the other two. And I love that diamond plate background. Next up here, we got the Monday Night War Volume 2, Know Your Role. So we got 10 episodes on each volume here, with a total of 20 episodes of the Monday Night Wars. Again, I can't say it enough. These are fantastic sets, whether you have the DVDs or Blu-rays. It's really fun to go back and watch all these. So here's another shot of these. You got the Radicals, Sans Benoit, Hogan and Rodman, Lita and Trish. You got The Rock, Goldust, Eric Bischoff, DDP, Kurt Angle, shot from one of the TLC matches, Austin and Tyson. This one seems a lot more plain compared to the other set, but still really cool. You got Medusa throwing the title in the trash, Jericho on Nitro. And then on the Blu-ray, you got, of course, exclusive content. Next up, we got Sting Into the Light, the documentary from Sting, and another great DVD set. Awesome documentary. I think this is around the time where they started shortening the documentaries. Could be a little bit before this, but this is the one I remember where the documentary was fairly short, but it's still a great DVD set, and also on Blu-ray. I actually remembered going back to this one. It actually got released early in Canada, maybe by mistake, and you know, a few people were waiting for it in the States. So we got a cool shot of Sting at WrestleMania 31. Again, several shots from Surfer Sting to Crow to current day. This is definitely a set worth the money. And this one, I always liked how the Blu-rays had, you know, a little bit different disc art. Next up here, Ringin' the Holiday. Probably not the best DVD ever, but it is decent, I guess. You know, it's a Mick Foley creation. Some of his favorite matches from Christmas time. And just some artwork there from Jerry Lawler. So that's really cool. So yeah, it's hosted by Mick Foley and Noel. Really cool. But not the best match selection, as there's only about 6 or so matches. I didn't even finish my match listing. Says it's about 3 hours, but I don't see how with about 1, 2, 3, 5 matches there. We got Tajiri Claus versus Bubba Claus. Bobby Heenan ruins Christmas. We got a Santa's Little Helper Diva match. Santa Claus versus Scott Taylor. Boiler Room Brawl. And then next up, one of my all-time favorites, Owen Hart. The Owen Hart of Gold DVD set. And I also have the alternate issue here. This DVD for me was so hard to find here in Canada. It wasn't at Walmart. I checked, you know, for a week or two, and Walmart, for whatever reason, didn't get it. Probably because they had the alternate copies, I'm guessing, and they had to send them back. So I did go out of my way to, I believe it was HMV at the time, went there, picked this DVD up, and it's one of my all-time favorites. You know, it's a sad story, but it is an excellent documentary set. Very well done. Classic there. Owen Hart and Brett. WrestleMania 10. I love how they changed the ropes pink. So yeah, here's a little comparison shot if you've never seen the other one. So one's kind of purplish, one's pinkish. And then finally, Undertakers Streak Coffin Edition 21-1. This was actually released before the Owen DVD in November sometime, probably before Survivor Series or around that time period. But this set is just massive. I've showed it off a few times. You know, it's nice wood. It's got a nice clasp on it. You know, we've never seen anything like this since or prior to this. But it's a 5-disc set, a little overdone. It's big, it's bulky, it's awkward. But having all of Undertaker's streak matches in one collection is really cool. So there we have the 2015 non-pay-per-view DVD collection. Let me know your thoughts, guys. Share some of your favorites from this year. And if you got them all, comment down below which ones you're missing. We'll talk to you later. Peace.